Hello friends, welcome back to the bench. Thank you very much for joining me. Our patient is the Mercedes Benz key fob, and this is the one that does emit infrared, right? We can see infrared, but the red LED is not blinking. So essentially what that should mean is that the radio doesn't work. So perhaps the key works in the ignition and it starts the car. We don't know that. But the buttons, when clicked, they don't open. They don't open the trunk. They don't do anything. Or at least that's what I'm thinking. So I was going to just reflow it and ship it back, right? Because initially we diagnosed it with just faulty battery, but it went back and forth and that didn't fix the problem. But since then, I noticed when I was putting it back together that this little pin over here was missing. So at some point, probably not during the disassembly because I disassembled it, but when we stored it, that pin must have just flew somewhere. So I told the customer that there's going to be a slight delay because I have to order a new shell. So we have the whole new shell, brand new. It's a replacement, so it doesn't show the Mercedes logo over here, like this one, right? Because I assume they can't produce it with that logo, because technically it didn't come from Mercedes. Perhaps. But we're most interested in the pin. Let's remove it gently so we don't lose it. So now what I want to do is this. We're gonna reflow this chip and see if there's any difference. If the reflow makes any difference, so the LED starts flashing, then most likely we are dealing with faulty, ripped pads or oxidation or stuff like that. On the previous one we did, this actually worked, right? We did the reflow and the remote came back to life, but that one it suffered liquid damage, right? Flooding. So it was expected that there's going to be some corrosion and the reflow is very likely to resolve. Now, if the reflow doesn't help in this case, because I'm not sure whether this chip will actually prevent the radio from working, right? Which chip actually controls the radio here? Looks like this one is close to the coil over here. We have some traces going here, but we also have some traces going from this chip. None of them seem like large traces, but this chip has a big capacitor next to it. So this is likely the chip responsible for the radio. So we're gonna reflow this one as well and see if we have any difference. If we have any difference, then we'll see what to do next. A worst case scenario, and I'm gonna talk to the customer after we try this. I ordered some replacement boards, so we should be able to just take this chip, as long as the chip is fine. If we just transplant this chip to the new board, it should work. So we could do a transplant. So let's see what we can do here. Now we're gonna have to either match a stencil, or we're gonna do the little trick of test of patience. The flux is starting to bubble. Now the chip is removed. It's from the other side. Stop the heating. I don't see any problems here on the board. I moved the quartz over here, but that's fine. We're replacing this board anyway, so this is fine. Yeah, I don't see any corrosion. I don't see any ripped pads. Everything looks good here. So now this cooled down and the chip looks okay. Well, let's wick it to confirm. And a little bit of flux, a little bit of heat, and we shall see. Let it heat up. Don't use any force because it's easy to damage the chip. These are very tiny pods. The chip looks good to me, which means once we put it on the replacement board, it should work. Because as long as this chip is good, we should be fine. So now let's see if we can match some stencil, or do we have to do the ball by ball? Okay, so this size would work, right? But this is for the SSD, so obviously we're covering. There's no configuration I can use over here to match this. Right, so I could just do a few of these, right, and then maybe put the balls on these. So let's go with plan B. Alright, so that was a manual Reball. So that's pretty much the best I can do for you, right? If it if it still doesn't work, then I don't know what's up with this. It's very unusual because the infrared works but not the radio. I don't know if you want this. Probably not, because why would you? And the back cover. Alright, pin is in, everything's in. The light is still not blinking, so I don't know. But you know, the alignment, the chip alignment is good. That's a new board. I'll send over the previous board, the original board, just in case, and we'll see. But if it's still not blinking, I don't think it's the problem of the board. But is it the actual chip that is faulty? I mean, it is possible, right? But there are no ripped pads on the chip or on the board. I'm not sure. But that's the best I can do for you. Hopefully it works. Let me know. And hope you guys found this useful or perhaps even entertaining, putting the balls on. Thank you very much for watching. I do appreciate you, and I shall see you guys in the next one.